The word Chimayo means sacred place, and the Sanctuario de Chimayo is world-renowned for the mysterious healing powers of its sacred dirt and a crucifix of Christ of Esquipulas. Each year, some 300,000 people from all over the world make pilgrimages to the Sanctuario during Holy Week, especially on Holy Thursday and Good Friday, some seeking blessings and some in fulfillment of a vow. El Sanctuario de Chimayo, a small shrine located in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of Chimayo, New Mexico, and near the path of the old Spanish Trail, has been a place of worship since before its construction in 1813. For generations, people of faith have traveled to the site of El Sanctuario to ask for healing for themselves and others, and to offer prayers of petition and of thanksgiving for favors received. Today, El Sanctuario de Chimayo, also known as the Lourdes of America, attracts its over 300,000 pilgrims from all over the Southwest and the world each year. But this land has had a strong spiritual presence long before it was known as the Sanctuario de Chimayo by its Spanish settlers. Pueblo Indians have inhabited the Chimayo area since the 12th century. The Tewa Indians named Chimayo as Tzimayo, after one of 4 sacred hills above the valley, which lies directly behind El Sanctuario de Chimayo. The Pueblo and Tewa people used the site of El Sanctuario de Chimayo for healing long before the Spanish occupation. They believed they shared their land with supernatural beings, and that these healing spirits could be found in the form of hot springs, which ultimately dried up, leaving the healing earth behind. The Spanish began conquering New Mexico in 1598 when Juan de Oñate led his expedition into the area, and the Spanish were set on converting the natives to Christianity. But this became a major point of contention between the Catholic Church and the native tribes, as the tribes were in serious disagreement over the matter, so much so that it resulted in the Pueblo Revolt of 1680. The natives revolted and succeeded in pushing the Spaniards south and re-establishing their sovereignty for the next 12 years. Some have referred to this as the First American Revolution. But it wasn't long before the Spaniards returned. In 1693, Spaniard Don Diego de Vargas returned to reconquer New Mexico, and the Spanish regained control of the area. The returning and newly arrived Hispanic families dispersed along the surrounding Santa Cruz River and in the village of El Potrero, known today as Chimayo, which would become the future site of this now world-renowned shrine. By 1805, a miraculous Guatemalan image of Christ crucified, known as Our Lord of Esquipulas, had become popular in the local area. And the roots of this crucifix can be found at an early colonial shrine in Guatemala, at which the earth was said to be effective in curing illnesses. And legends concerning the apparition of Our Lord of Esquipulas have been passed on within Chimayo from generation to generation. According to the most popular legend, the story goes that on the Holy Week night of Good Friday in 1810, Don Bernardo Abeyta, a member of the Penitentes, saw a light beaming out of one of the hills near the Santa Cruz River in Chimayo. He went to the spot and saw that the light was coming out of the ground. Digging with his bare hands, he discovered a partially buried crucifix, which he immediately associated with Our Lord of Esquipulas. He left it there, and a group of men went to notify the priest immediately. The priest, Fray Sebastián Alvarez, set out to find the cross in Chimayo and bring it back to his nearby church in Santa Cruz, and there he placed it in the niche of the main altar. The next morning, the crucifix was gone, and yet it was miraculously found again back in its original location in Chimayo. Well, this situation happened 2 more times, and each time the crucifix always ended up back in Chimayo. Well, this made it apparent that Our Lord of Esquipulas wanted to reside in Chimayo. Another legend claims that Don Bernardo Abeta had a vision while plowing his fields that directed him to dig beneath his plow, where he would find earth with great healing powers. In 1813, on behalf of the residents of Chimayo, Abeta petitioned the priest for permission to build a chapel dedicated to Our Lord of Esquipulas on what the people believed to be the site of the miraculous crucifix or earth with healing powers. The healings started as a result of the miraculous earth or sand found under the shrine. In fact, the miraculous healings grew so numerous it required replacing the chapel with the larger current shrine in 1816. It is said that the earth at Chimayo can be mixed with water to make mud and eaten or applied to the skin in order to heal a person. Some people take vials of the sand with them as a remembrance of their pilgrimage to Chimayo. Now, a tidbit of information about the Santo Niño de Atocha chapel, also present in Chimayo. It is rumored that the Santo Niño wanders the valleys of Chimayo. He's said to do this at night to bring healing and comfort to those who need it most. All this walking through the valleys wears out his little shoes, so people bring children's shoes to the shrine as a gift. The roots of the local myth can be found in the larger Catholic legend of the Santo Niño de Atocha, or Holy Child of Atocha, which tells of a young boy bringing gifts of healing who appeared to travelers during the Moorish occupation of Spain.